personal fitness trainer. So I have with me my personal training book, and we have a few things to discuss. I'm going to go over a few points, and then we're going to talk a little more in this one about high intensity training and why you want to use it. So in a moment, we're going to get started with that. Okay, so anyway, and I'll let you know, it's really freezing out here where I live. It's like in the single digits. So you gotta have on your heavy sweaters and your furry boots. All right, but anyway, here we go. So, I have my personal training book here. And okay, so, I want to talk about it, but I want to read to you what, again, is in the book so you know, as I always say, that I'm not blowing smoke. So before we get into the high intensity training, let me just hit on this point a little bit. So, it says here in the book, the title is Changing Intensity for Strength Gains. So, they're telling us here, when we're a personal trainer, that it says right here, many trainers think they are obligated to raise the resistance, that means the weight, when faced with the challenge of increasing intensity. You can introduce intensity changes in a number of ways without necessarily increasing resistance. Now, don't mistake that for meaning that, like I said always before, whenever you're doing any rep range, you've got to get the muscle fatigue and burn. If you're not, you have to go up your weight. So that's not what they're saying here. So don't minimize the muscle burn. You have to get that. That's not what they're talking about here. So now they're telling you that there are a lot of different ways. So let's say, for instance, let me give an example. So let's say, for instance, I have a client or you out there, and let's just say you're at the point that, you might want to lift heavier, but you can't because your joints. All right. So let's say you can't go with 6 reps or 8 reps. You can't do that. You'd like to lift a little heavier with that rep range, but you can't do it. So they're telling you that although you can't necessarily increase your resistance, you can still get strength gains. There's other ways that you can change, okay? So that's the good news, all right, for somebody that their joints maybe can't take a higher resistance because of the lower weights. Lower reps for higher weight, okay? So now they're telling you some different ways, and I know this, but you need to know it. That's the point. So, 1, vary the number of reps. So let me read this. Vary the number of reps, either up or down. Increasing or decreasing the number of reps will stimulate adaptation. Any kind of variety will help break plateaus and rouse the body to adapt. Both higher rep schemes, 12 to 20, but you notice there they have the 12 in there? Because remember, if you're strictly doing all high all the time, you don't get change. I said that on the last video. So both higher rep schemes, 12 to 20, as well as lower rep sets, 6 to 12, contribute to muscle hypertrophy. That means muscle growth. All right, so there you are. That's one way. Number 2, increase the number of sets for the targeted muscle group. So that's another way. So, if you have somebody that's normally only doing 2 sets, now this is not a very first beginner. When you're just starting out, you have to slowly progress. But after that, 2 sets, then you can increase to 4 sets. Throw in a 4-setter, okay? So increase the number of sets for the targeted muscle group. 3, sequence. And I do that all the time with my workout. So sequence, it says, so there is very little recovery between sets targeting the same muscle group. This will cause a different motor unit recruitment pattern to occur and thus new stimulation. Because what it goes is, most people do the same thing over and over and over. Initially it might work, but you can't keep doing the same stuff. Eventually it won't work anymore. You have to always change it. And that's part of our job, to figure all that out. Okay, but I'm here on YouTube, so as a trainer, I'm helping you to figure it all out. Okay? Because not everybody knows that. Excuse me here. I drink a lot of water, and you should too. It's good for you. You want to stay hydrated. It's really healthy. Drink a lot of water. I have a water bottle everywhere I go. Anyway. Okay, next, number 4. Here we are. Use high intensity training techniques and systems. So, if you go into my playlist section, I have a lot of those for bicep, tricep. I think I have a shoulder one. All right. And so I have a lot of those, a lot of different workouts. Like I have some superset workouts. I have different, bottom line, high intensity workouts. And that's what they're talking about. So if you ever want to know, just go into my playlist, look on bicep, tricep, and you'll see. No, I'm sorry, on my playlist, I have a section of the playlist that says high intensity workouts. There you are. You'll find them right there. And I love doing those. Okay, so high intensity training, it says, now they're giving you an example. It's some of those workouts. There's all kind. Pyramiding, I have one video I did on pyramiding. Okay, compound training, I have some on that, but I don't know that I have that in that playlist section. I don't think I did put it in there saying that, but I do compound movements. I have videos on that. Supersetting, breakdown training, and super slow training. I have a video I just did with super slow training. Check that one out. And another one is forced rep or assisted training. Anyway, sorry, it's probably not cat hair here. They're floating around when you have a cat. Cats. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. So I'm just naming a few of those. And I will do another video and be more specific on different names and how you do them. Okay? So let me go jump over here. And now up here in this little box, this particular thing's not really about high intensity training, but I do want to mention it. It's right here, up here. Okay, so that is just about, again, varying your client's routine and moving past strength training plateaus. So I just read a little bit what it says here. It's again some of the same stuff. Plateaus in overtraining often result from indefinite use of one training approach. The following ideas can help minimize the possibility that your client's training will plateau. Initially, there you are, change the exercise sequence or change the exercise while leaving the relative intensity of reps, sets, and load the same. So, in other words, they're telling me that when I'm starting out with a new client, if I'm just changing the exercises, type of exercises a little bit, different exercise with different bicep, changing them up, that's going to be enough stimulus, okay? But then later, as you're training them for a while, you want to keep changing other things as well. So then they say here, 2, manipulate the frequency. Intensity load, they're giving you different ways. Volume, which is reps and sets, both up and down, within the 6 to 20 repetition. Unless you're a guy lifting heavy, later you want to do the 1, 2, 4, 5 reps. That's fine too. Later, okay, once you're into working out. And both higher rep and lower rep schemes contribute to muscle hypertrophy and additional results. But again, you can't just stick to real high reps always. You won't get results that way. 3, sequence the exercises so there's very little recovery between sets. It's another way. Targeting the same muscle group. This will allow for a different motor unit recruitment pattern and thus new stimulation. Okay, so in a moment here, I'm gonna talk just a little bit more in this one paragraph, and then we'll do more another time because there's a lot to it. Okay, so I will do that in just a bit. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. So the high intensity training. Okay, so here's what it says. This is another reason it's good. So it says if your client has been training at an advanced level, so you see it's more advanced, the high intensity training. High intensity training may be the edge he or she needs to move up strength training plateaus. Let me say that. Or at some point in an advanced training program, one of your clients may look for more results within a limited time schedule. In either case, consider using time-proven, high-intensity strength training. And it says, this type of training emphasizes quality over quantity. And that's another reason why I do it. Several reasons. I do it because, for me, I'm talking about me, I do it because those workouts, because for the results, and also because sometimes I'm in a pinch of time, and I'll say that on those videos. So I don't have to spend like hours, or I can do a really good, like if I do a superset workout of some sort, I can have it done within a half hour and have an awesome, great result given workout. All those. Because you can't do 6, 7, 8, 9 sets of those. You don't need to, then you can't. Okay? So you see? 2 reasons. And that's why I do them. I do them for results and also for time. Now we'll say you can't do them all the time. And we'll get into that. So, but let me jump around here. I'm not reading everything. I'm just highlighted the important things. Okay, so now it tells you they're very effective. But it is telling you here, if you did them all the time, like if I did these all the time, like every week, it tells you, and I don't, it tells you right here, it can lead to overuse injury and burnout. Why? Because they're really high. They're high intensity. So, and you will get onset of muscle soreness. All right? So you don't want to do it all the time. Like I don't do them every week, but I periodically do them. Okay? So, it's telling you that, and then it says, and then down here below it says, quality reigns over quantity when applied to training results. And then it says, many competitive lifters are experimenting with decreasing volume of overload and increasing intensity of effort. So you see, so it doesn't always have to be a real heavy weight, okay? You gotta have the fatigue burn. All right, and then it says, without a doubt, high intensity strength training is fierce and concentrated, and it requires focus. It sure does. I know when I'm doing them, yeah, I may be doing a little talking because I'm doing the video, but I'm still focused. Have to be. And then it says, over here, it says, so it's also telling you that when I'm training somebody or for you out there, it is for also the clients or people out there that are highly motivated. Of course, you've been working out for a while, you're highly motivated, and you're prepared and motivated to move their stalled strength training program to the next level. And again, getting off this strength training plateaus. And it says, when a client complains of lack of results, she or he has experienced in training a training plateau. And that's if, of course, they're training right in the first place. If they're with me, they are. And with Serge, they are. Serge Bolview and his training. But anyway, so it says, plateaus occur when a client's rate gain or improvement as related to her training or his training slows down. Okay? And it says, the body needs new stimulation. So lastly, on this video, because I'm going to cut this off here shortly, high intensity strength training provides a way to train harder without increasing the client's workout times. In other words, he or she can increase intensity without doing more or longer workouts, but they will have to work harder to get the results. High intensity training requires greater muscle effort and places more intense physical demand on the muscles. These techniques push your clients to a greater degree of fatigue. So anyway, there you have it. Why it's used. And I love it. So check out my workouts on that. Just go into my playlist. But I'm more on that subject matter. It'll be really interesting. So the next time I do a video on my personal training book, that's what it's going to be all about. I'll get more in depth, okay, on the workouts. So anyway, until next time, stay warm. That's what I'm doing. And I'll see ya, and ta-ta.